Alright, hello everybody, and this is a video that's been quite highly requested. We're going to be doing a talk through of just like a random Kerapac kill in solo. I'm going to kind of like explain what I'm doing, and especially the P4, because I've got a really good strat now for phase 4, which I think you guys will be able to benefit from. Like, it's not very difficult, it just works. The important things of this kill, Inspiration Aura. Actually really good. So Inspiration Aura and Hydrix bolts. I've got them in my quiver. I do use my Ruby bolts quite a lot, but for the entirety of phase 4 we do use Hydrix. But apart from that, everything else doesn't really matter. Oh, Vitality Potion actually. Make sure you have a Vitality. But everything else, you're all good. First few kills are probably give you guys to do on a yak. It might be a bit easier. But once you get used to it and you get the strat down, I've had several kills where I have essentially used no food. And yeah, Ripidemon plus Spirituals goes a long way. So let's start the kill now. This is just like a VOD from my Twitch that I've just like looking at from the future. And yeah, so at the start, literally, it's just doing damage. Lots and lots of damage. And one thing to bear in mind actually is that as of Monday, which is when this video goes out, this strat we're doing here is actually about to be fixed. So what happens right now is that you can walk under him as he fires the Rift spec. And he'll kind of get lost and won't know where you are. Unfortunately, that is getting fixed. So we're going to have to just kill the Rift normally in future, which is a bit annoying. But it just means we're probably not going to get any like DPS skips on the lightning. Yeah, we just have to kill the Rift that spawns wherever this is. Don't know where, but either way. Obviously, starting off the kill with the swiftness, and once you get competent, if you do have an Eldritch crossbow, just pretty much having Eldritch spec up 24/7 is a pretty good way of doing things. And yeah, this bit here we've got the chargy specs, and I find it a lot easier to escape, as you saw there. So if you like walk towards him and then escape backwards and then click back in your swiftness, you can actually get a pretty good, okay, I missed that one, but still, you can get a pretty good success rate, and you can also stay in your swiftness. Like, it's much easier than Surge, because like if you Surge, you end up in Narnia, and it's not the friendliest. Yeah, this bit lightning spec, which is probably going to be a lot more likely after Monday. It is possible to skip the lightning. We do that quite often, but this is just a random kill, not necessarily a particularly good one, just a kill. And then here we get the time warp ability. So what this does, so you can essentially activate it. There's like an active button. Mine's on the left over there. You can change where you want it in your edit layout mode. It's called extra action button. But what this one does is when you click it, it saves a snapshot of like all of your abilities. So anything that can go on cooldown on your action bar. So this doesn't include special attacks, but it includes all your abilities. It takes a snapshot of that, and then 10 seconds later, you get sent back to where you were. So what you can do, for example, which we're going to do here, we're going to activate it instantly. You want to be very fast in this, because if you're late, you can't do the walk under strat. But then again, that's going to be fixed soon, so maybe it doesn't matter. So activate it instantly, and then we're going to be looking for a swiftness again. So watch this. So I've activated it. See this timer here. And then our swiftness is like, oh no, our swiftness is on cooldown. Oh wait, rewind. And we got our swiftness timer back. We get all our like cooldowns back as well. So it's time to do a lot of damage. And that's a Ruby SGB. That's quite moisture inducing. That's nice. We like that. Yeah, literally just lots of damage. And don't forget to soul split flick as well. Like a Prey Mage when he hits you, and then soul split when he doesn't. Yeah. Don't worry too much about doing crazy amounts of damage, just only when you want to improve your kills. But again, see, doing that escape strat, walk towards him, escape backwards, works really nicely. And there you go, so watch out for like the little shadow clone. We got a really good phaser actually, thanks to the Ruby SGB. I guess it's not that bad a kill after all. And then again, pretty much the same as last time. We're gonna time warp and then swiftness again. So just like last time, exactly the same. And it's good to like use your sigil here as well, because your sigil, if you have limitless, that is, comes back off cooldown, which is super convenient. So we like that. Obviously, walk under again there, which will be fixed unfortunately. But one thing to bear in mind about walk under is if you want to, you don't have to. but if you stand under the boss, you can actually use your flanking perk. So like when he's summoning that portal, he stands still for a really long time. So it actually lets you use both of your flankings at the same time. Well, one after the other, but you know, it's super useful. Then there, just like walk forwards a bit and then escape backwards. Works really nicely. Got hit by that second clone there, but I think I was trying to do a lot of damage here because I think I was going for a lightning skip again, so we're kind of juicing it a lot. Obviously using a lot of spiritual prayers here. Like, you really don't have to. But I guess I should talk about the lightning as well. Because if you get the lightning on P3, which is very likely, you want to... Well, what I normally do, I would equip my shield, and then I would just barricade it. Because like the hitbox is so janky on the lightning, and having 3 of them at once is just so insane. So if you know you're not going to get a lightning skip, which is, well, going to be a lot harder after Monday, I would literally just stand in the middle, barricade, and then build back up to 100% adrenaline. Because what you don't want to do is phase it into this phase when lightning is happening. But on the other phases, like when there's one lightning on phase 1, if you get that, you can just surge through it. And if you get like the double lightning on P2, what I like to do there is I like to leave it a little while, and then like whenever they're getting like crossed, I suppose, I like to equip my bladed dive and then bladed dive surge through it. It works really, really nicely. So I would recommend doing that. But like the triple lightning, it's just not worth even trying to just maneuver around. It does so much damage, and the hitbox is so ridiculous. I really would just chuck on your shield, barricade, and then try and build up with like defensives, especially if you're close to phasing. Obviously here you can see he's like 48k. So yeah, like if he did do lightning, I wouldn't want that. But if it was like 100k, I would happily just barricade and then just build up nice and happily. But now, so this is the juicy bit. This is phase 4. So this is all very, very important here. So I might even do this in slow motion, actually, with the power of the future. We shall go in slow motion. So what I do here is at the start of this phase, you want to make sure you are 100% adrenaline. Very important. You want to be equipping Hydrix bolts for the entire thing. And then we're going to click on this clone here, because if you don't click on one of the clones, you do like massively reduced damage to these echo things, which you have to kill all of these echoes to proceed. So what we're doing here, so we click on the clone, we're going towards this middle bit here. It's like somewhere between like both of them. So like on this little like V pointy thing is perfect. We activate our time warp. We use death swiftness. We click on that one instantly, misclick that. We vitality pot. Then we either like needle strike or ricochet this one with Hydrix bolts. Then we go to this one and then use either ricochet or needle strike, whatever's up. And then you've only got a couple seconds left on time warp now. But what you can just about fit in is if you don't miss a tick, you can get in snapshot, devotion, and rapid fire. Assuming you have limitless, you can get all 3 of those. If not, it's fine, doesn't matter. Alternatively, you can, if you get like a lot of Hydrix procs on your ricochet, you can just dark bow it. Because devotion's actually not that important at the beginning here, because it doesn't hurt you that much. But if you want to be like a little bit safer, then yeah, devotioning here, like just before your time warp comes back, is a good idea. But make sure what you don't do, make sure you do not use devotion after your time warp has already finished, because then it's on cooldown and then you're going to get screwed. So right here, we're just going to be just attacking again. So, oh, got really... Oh yeah, time warp proc, so now we're literally just going to dark bow it down. Like dark bow all the way. So I assume... Oh, yeah, there's one there. So there's like, what, like 20k damage pretty much. The dark bow, ricochet, and then I assume a dark bow again is probably... Yeah, there's another one. And you can soul split flick here if you so desire. It's really really up to you. And unfortunately that one actually didn't die just then, which is a little bit of a disaster. Normally that guy dies after a couple of dark bows, but if not, it's fine. We'll just give him a little love tap later. And then still camping Hydrix. Obviously, like, I haven't actually eaten food yet, I don't think, in this phase. Like, it's all fine. I might have eaten one, I'm not actually sure. But yeah, let's dark bow this guy down as well. So nice and simple. But yeah, it's literally all because of Hydrix bolts. They're so nice. Like Hydrix, Ricochet, Snapshot, Rapid Fire, Dart Bow. And then when you've got that other guy down, you want to surge across here and actually use Reflect. Because if you see here, I was actually a bit late, in fact, on the Reflect. But when you surge across, it kind of stacks up like 3 hits at once. Normally it's 2 hits, but because there's that third guy, it's 3. And then when you get here, you want to Time Warp again. And you want to use Devotion as late as possible here, but this guy does start hitting like 4k, so you've got to be a bit careful. So yeah, I'm going to be Devotioning in a second, I imagine. Yep, there we go, just before my Time Warp comes back. And then the idea here is that you can potentially kill this Echo while your Devotion is active, just with like more like Snapshots, Ricochets, and Dark Bows. And we got it there, so we got the Devotion extension. That doesn't always work. Sometimes you get a little bit like hurt too much and you would have Devotion a bit earlier. And then we come back to this guy. So we got loads of Adrenaline, of course, because we had the rewind. And we still have our Devotion cooldown up as well. It's just down the bottom there. So it means that whenever we need to again, we can Devotion again. So really, really nice and simple. And then if you need anything else, because yeah, it kind of depends on Hydrix procs a little bit, you can always like Limitless Sigil, and Debilitate is a good one. Obviously like Resonance, just like taking off your prayer and pressing Resonance is really good. Disruption Shield there as well saves one of the hits. But yeah, like a lot of this fight is literally just doing tons of damage. Tons and tons of damage, because you know, if you kill your opponent before he kills you, you can't do any damage anymore. So it's really good. So yeah, really solid phase there. And yeah, that's about it. Let's play it through in full speed. Just one more time. Where are we here? So right about here. So let's put that back to full speed and you will see. So again, remember, so go into Clone, Time Warp, Swiftness, Vitality Pot in the other clone, and use either like Needle or Ricochet. Jump to this guy and then use the other one, and then just get as much Adrenaline as you can just to Dark Bow this guy down. So let's watch it in full speed. So there's Time Warp, Vitality, one ability, over here, another ability, and then I actually probably should have Dark Bow down. I don't think Devotion is really necessary. And then just pew pew pew, more Dark Bow, Ricochet, Dark Bow. Got a Relentless there, which is quite lucky. Dark Bow. Bit more. Then on this guy, Rapid Fire is very, very good as well. And probably what, a Ricochet Dark Bow? Oh no, Dark Bow then Ricochet, I guess. That works too. Finish off that guy. And one thing to bear in mind as well is that Inspiration Aura isn't always the best at hitting the clones, because they do have a bit higher defense, annoyingly. But with special attacks like Dark Bow, they hit all the time, which is really nice. And Time Warp, Swiftness, as much as we can. Devotion at the last possible moment. You may have to eat some food there, by the way. I got a little bit low. I was kind of lucky. Then just more and more Dark Bows. And it's super free. So if you can master all those things, like, this phase becomes so easy. Well, I say easy, it's still very painful sometimes, but assuming you set up everything properly, then you'll be all good. So hopefully this has helped somewhat. I feel like I've probably rambled a little bit, but hopefully, especially the phase 4 is what a lot of people have trouble with. Like phase 1, 2, and 3 are kind of, you know, whatever. But there we have it. That is a kill. And like if you are struggling on P1 to 3, because you really shouldn't, well, ideally you shouldn't really be using much food on those phases, I would actually recommend bringing some Onyx Bolts, because I've got some of those with me there. Yeah, the majority of your food usage should be on phase 4. Because yeah, P1 to 3 you shouldn't really be eating, but if you do get low, you can always just Onyx Bolt it back up. Which, you know, I mean, you probably will get low when you're learning, but once you're going to get the hang of it, it does take a little while. So like, do not be discouraged. Like, please, you know, keep at it, because it's really good fun. Yeah, you'll get that. Onyx Bolts are really good for extra life. But apart from that, hopefully that helps. I think we touched on a lot of the things that I wanted to here. We mentioned the gear. Like, I really don't need Super Boost here either. But it's, you know, I'm just using them like just in case. Oh, I should talk about my amulets, I guess, as well. I've got my Dark Bow amulet, the black one, the Serengobbo amulet, the blue one, and Eldritch in the yellow one. But I don't expect a lot of you to have like the Eldritch Amulet. Like you probably have the Dark Bow one, so I would definitely say Dark Bow. Dark Bow Essence of Finality is kind of a must for this strat, I think. I would highly recommend that. But yeah, just like getting the Hydrix bolts on, Ring of Vigor as well to save adrenaline on spec. And then, yeah, just Ring of Vigor, Dark Bow, pew pew pew, Ricochet to get more Hydrix procs, ideally. I'm kind of hoping you guys have greater Ricochet. If you don't have greater Ricochet, it's still possible. It's just like a little bit harder, I guess, so be prepared to eat a bit more food, because you'll be getting, obviously, quite a few less Hydrix procs. But Snapshot, Rapid Fire, and Dark Bow will probably still do you quite well. And yeah, so an Inspiration Aura, I forgot to say actually, what this aura does is actually it gives you 0.5% adrenaline every time you land a successful hit. So for an ability like Ricochet, where you hit, I think it's 7 times with Caroming 4 plus Ricochet, that is, yeah, like 3.5% adrenaline extra just from one ability. Like, it is really, really good. And I actually prefer this over Reckless, because on Reckless, although you can hit the clones a bit better, Inspiration lets you use more Dark Bow specs, which kind of negates the extra defense the clones have. And you also just take less damage because your defense doesn't get reduced because you're not on Reckless. So yeah, hopefully this talk through helped. Hopefully you can copy some things, especially the P4. Like you can literally make P1 to 3 however you want it, but I really would recommend copying a P4 like this, because I feel like it seems so free. It really does. Oh, and I should explain as well, before it's too late. Probably done this earlier, but you need to make sure you don't go back in your clones, especially not this one, because this clone, he's sort of like, because you know how he went in there and drank the Vitality Potion? That actually props him up to 20k HP. So if we just go there, get him to 20k, then go to the other one, like he actually stays on 20k. But what happens if you click on him here is the HP bar is actually very misleading now. And chances are, if you were to click on this guy, you would probably die. So you essentially just ignore the clones and just try and like just spam Dark Bow specs as you do. So yeah, 17.5 minutes of a video. I think that's good. I think I've got everything. I really hope so. Oh, and also Excalibur P4. Just like whenever you need it. I normally do it like when I'm over there, so I would recommend doing something similar. But over here is fine too. But yeah, I would make sure not to use Excalibur until P4, because it's not really worth it otherwise, because you've got like Soul Split and Onyx Bolts to heal you up otherwise. But yeah, apart from that, I think we're good. One thing that might help as well, you could always chuck Vuln Bombs at the clones if you want to. I normally don't, but make sure you chuck a Vuln Bomb at the guy at the end at the very least. But yeah, hopefully that helped. If you have any other questions, please do put them in the comments. I really hope I got everything, as I said before. And yeah, this has been a Kerapac hard mode talk through for solo. So I hope it helped. And yeah, see you guys next time.